Hello and welcome back to the Rise and Align podcast. If you are new, welcome. We're so happy to have you. We talk about all things high vibrational, and we are your hosts. My name is Halie.
And I'm Demi, and today we are going to talk about high vibrational music. So music can actually help you raise your frequency in multiple ways. Because everything is made up of energy, certain frequencies can actually heal the physical body. But music with lyrics can actually be used as affirmation. And like everything, it can be used in the right way in order to help you manifest what you want to manifest, or it can be kind of accidentally used in the wrong way, where you might be singing lyrics that you actually don't want to affirm and you might not realize, but they do have an impact on your emotion, because good music does evoke emotion. And as we always talk about, we act out of our emotions and that creates our reality. So the music you listen to can help or hurt you in manifestation.
Yes, that's a super great introduction. I think of our words are spells, and what we are saying or thinking has a vibrational frequency to it. So of course, the things that we are singing and the words that we are affirming, they are spells that we are using to bring that to life for us.
Yes.
So yes, absolutely. And it is a really, really powerful manifestation tool, and it is a powerful way to change your frequency as well. If you've ever noticed, like, listening to your favorite song, you usually feel a lot better after listening to that, because you're just so happy and fully in the moment and enjoying the music. And then there is the aspect of what the contents of the music actually are and what they are actually saying. So I think it's very important to be mindful of the words that you are affirming in the music that you're listening to, and the spells that are being spoken to you as you're listening to them.
Yes. I know both of us have the Four Agreements, the book, The Four Agreements, because you had recommended it to me, and I have seen it so long, and I finally bought it. And one of the Four Agreements is to be impeccable with your word. And impeccable means that it is without sin. And technically what sin means is to not hurt yourself, to not bring anything negative upon yourself or others. So that book goes into detail about why it's so important to use your words with good intention, because it can be used as black magic or as positivity to help others heal and to help yourself heal. So I think that that's, a wonderful resource in, thinking about that subject in general. But also, we're both into sound healing, so we know like how certain frequencies can heal different parts of the body. So you can use music in so many different ways.
Yes.
I was just listening to a video from Teal Swan, and the video was titled How to Raise Your Frequency, and she said music is one of the number one ways to raise your frequency, because it bypasses the subconscious mind. So a lot of things that we do to get in alignment, sometimes they'll be maybe they won't quite feel good to us, like if it's like exercise or something like that we don't want to be doing. Music is not like that. Music can bypass that and raise your frequency, even if you're in the worst of circumstances, right? It's like, it is magic. It is spells. I actually made a TikTok page, which I don't use frequently, but I made it about music that is high vibrational, because it has helped me so much in manifestation. And, it's one of the things that consistently makes me feel better.
Yes, yes. I love that you brought up sound healing. That is a big thing in yoga as well. We use a lot of sound bowls. And if you have been to a yoga class, oftentimes the music, it doesn't have words, but it's very high vibrationally charged. So, or depending on the focus of the yoga class, it could be very like yin charged. But it's a tool that you can use in addition to other things to help change your vibration or to feel a certain way. And the act of sound healing is an ancient practice, and it's used in so many different cultures in different ways. I have heard a lot about in like Australia, one of their musical instruments is the didgeridoo. And it's supposed to be a really great instrument to connect you to like a higher consciousness. But there's chanting, and there are cultures who would like dance and sing around a circle, and there's mantras. There's so many different ways to utilize sound to actually promote healing. And then there is the solfeggio frequencies, and there's different frequencies that target different parts of your body that can promote healing in your body and your mind as well. And that also kind of corresponds to chakras, who has an energetic frequency, and most chakras have a musical note that corresponds to them, because there's 7 major musical notes. The notes align with the different chakras. So if you think about that, when someone is creating music, they're using notes, and that can impact your chakras in a certain way.
Which I think has so much to do with why certain songs do resonate with us so well, literally resonate, you know? And so you can use different musical notes or even just the tone to tap into different things. So some of them will physically heal you, like if you have pain, scarring, burning, anything like that. Some of them will help you open your third eye or help you open your heart chakra. There's so many different things. And then I was studying about sound healing when I first got my tuning forks, and they said that when you are doing that, certain notes like the C note and stuff, you're meant to hum and to match the tone, because when you're humming, you can use that to vibrate the sound through your entire body, and therefore it will help heal you, faster, better, more so.
Yes.
So I've been doing this thing with my son where we hum together, and it's really interesting when you both hum the same note, you can't hear yourself anymore. It tunes out yourself. Sound healing is just so fascinating to me, and it's really cool. And there's been tons of studies done on it. So, it's not witchy woo woo. You can look under a microscope and actually see cells growing or healing, which I think is just beautiful, because everything is made up of energy, and everything vibrates at a specific frequency at all times. So these frequencies actually heal you, and they are within all music, actually.
Yes. And so our bodies are almost like conductors, because the water actually is the conductor to carry the energy to our cells, which are electrically charged. So it makes sense that the music would vibrationally impact our at a cellular level, impact our bodies.
Yeah, it's so neat. I mean, and all sound is vibration. You learn that in school. Also, I always found classical music really interesting. And I had a really wonderful elementary school music teacher who I will never forget because of this. So we would often listen to classical music because they say that it makes people more intelligent, and it helps them study, and helps relax them as well. But classical music also tells a story without lyrics, which I always thought was so beautiful. So, there's just so many different ways to utilize that.
Yeah. I love that you brought up classical music, because I was going to talk about that as well. There's different types of music that can bring certain things. So classical music, I have heard people use it to study as well. It's supposed to increase your memory and concentration and lower anxiety. But there's also spiritual or cultural music that you can listen to that helps you connect to your ancestors.
Yes.
And that leads me to say, the other night I was doing my new moon ritual, and I usually do a freestyle yoga flow. I love to put on music and just flow with the music. And I put on this really folky, Celtic music. And I was moving with the Celtic music. And I do feel like I'm connecting with those ancestors, and it's deep rooted wisdom that I'm getting through this music. And it's just so powerful and impactful.
I'm speechless. Yes. I have experienced really similar things. It's funny, when Celtic music comes on, I just start crying.
Me too. I know it's
listen, I promise I'm okay.
Yes.
There's just something that it just hits the heartstrings, it's like home.
Yes. Yeah. It is home. That's what it is. When I was 12 years old, my best friend and I, at the time, we went to, they were called Celtic Thunder, and I was obsessed with them. And they were playing at the deck here in town, and my mom had to drop us off. And that's what I did that's what I spent my time doing. Instead of getting into trouble, I was going to Celtic concerts in my free time.
I love that. Oh, that is wonderful.
Trying to get their signatures.
Right. That's so cute. I love that. So obviously different things are going to resonate with different people. And I find that sometimes music that say like heartbreak songs, even though it is about sadness, it sometimes can be emotionally releasing for you to listen to that. And I think that that's why those songs resonate. You still feel like it's a good way, even though it might make you cry and feel these emotions. I think it can help a person tap into that in order to release it so that you're not holding on to it. It's therapeutic in that way as well.
It promotes healing, and it also allows you to feel like seen and heard in that moment, because something such as going through a breakup can feel isolating and lonely, but you have a sense of you're not alone when you're listening to that kind of music too.
A lot of music will show you that you're not the only person to feel those emotions or to go through that. And for me, it's really helped me like keep the faith and keep the hope. And you know, obviously, like, it's so cool that there's infinite abundance of music. I love that. I was trying to make a positive vibration playlist today, and I was only using songs that are in my phone already. And I was like, there are so many that I can't even put them all on a playlist. And that's just what I have already saved on my phone. So I'm like, I love that. And so obviously, you know, listen to music that resonates with you, but I would be mindful of what it is, because me personally, you know, the whole point of being here is expansion. And when I was younger, I wasn't always super healthy emotionally. And so I would listen to a lot of music that also wasn't, you know, and at the time it was aligned with me and it resonated, but I wasn't aware of what I was affirming. And I know specific rappers like Juice WRLD, for example, raps about really negative things and about death and about suicide, and then he died. And that is a common occurrence. And I think that we need to be very intentional about our words. I think it can be very dangerous.
I think it's really interesting that you brought up Juice WRLD, because I did go through a phase where I really thought I loved his music and I would play it on repeat. And then I started paying attention to the words and I was like, oh my God, like I would listen to them and start like crying because they were really bad, sad and dark.
Really negative.
And so I eventually stopped listening to that. But that is something that I was listening to, thinking that I loved the song. And
so many songs can be so catchy and like, you know, you think that you're feeling good singing it, but you don't even realize the spells that you're using.
And that leads me to say the intentions that are being put into the music when it's being created is really important. If you think about like the mindset that that person is, or the message that they're trying to relay, is it truly coming from a good place?
Yeah, a lot of music I feel comes from depression, a lot of it, which, you know, a lot of people will say that they use their music as an emotional therapy to get it out of them. But certain things, you don't want to share that vibration. You don't want to spread that vibration. And there's a lot of that in the rap industry. I mean, even just the music industry in general, it spreads a lot of really bad vibes, and especially to young children who they're not aware of the power in their words and, you know, what they're really putting into them.
And the energy that that's carrying and like massively spreading, like the ripple effect that's
I think it has a massive effect on young people especially, but on everyone. So that's, you know, something to be mindful about. And so because I do still enjoy rap music, I have intentionally found people who are rapping things that I want to affirm. And so I did, you know, make a playlist. I'll share some of the songs with you guys, because I think that, you know, if you're somebody who can relate to that and you know, grew up listening to rap music because that maybe was aligned with you at the time and resonated with you at the time, so you don't want to like switch over to country, I get it. I totally get it. But also you do want to be intentional and aware of what you are consuming. You know, we talked about that in our consuming episode. Russ is one of my absolute all-time favorite artists. He talks often about how the rap industry does that, how he even raps about, you know, how they kind of want rappers to be traumatized and damaged and putting out that frequency, which is sad, but I mean, it works for lots of people who have lots of money, like big pharma and all that.
Yeah. And you know, Russ, he is spiritual, and he knows that he is putting good intentions into everything that he creates.
He is also an independent artist, so he doesn't have to do anything. Like, no one's telling him what to write about or what to make music about. And his mom is a life coach too, which she's a wonderful person. So I think that's had such a huge effect. And if you look at even just the titles of his songs, you'll see that they are very intentional. And, you know, once in a while he does talk about the hardships and stuff like that, but he often talks about the faith that he has. And, you know, I've been saying I was rich since I was broke. It's a state of mind you got to know. He understands manifestation really well and has been through it. And, you know, he wasn't born into the industry or, you know, into a super wealthy family or anything like that. Like, he created that himself, and I think that's so admirable. So I am obsessed. I love his music.
Yes, me too.
And it has helped me so much myself to manifest that. So, you know, often I talk about on my coaching pages as well how you can use music to help you manifest. And so if you want to manifest more abundance, look for songs that affirm having abundance. If you want to manifest love, look for love songs that are positive, like not heartbreak, but positive about, you know, attracting and creating romance. It will change the way you feel. You'll notice right away. I love that.
Yeah. And it will eventually change like your thoughts and emotions about the subject as well.
Yes. What I think is so helpful. And if you are one of those people who you were listening to are, you know, feminine and masculine energy, this is one way that you can use to help you get into one of those energies depending on what you're listening to, which has been helpful for me as well. So, you know, to name one artist, Russ, I absolutely love. He also signed a girl named Caitlin, who is also super spiritual and positive. She has a song called Manifest as well, and she just came out with a song called Flow State. Nick D I've been listening to, and
super positive
and romantic. He's got love songs. It's so happy, like not only the words, the affirmations, but also the
beats and stuff. Like it's very high vibe. Yes. It's like what you would want to listen to in the summer with your windows down and you're like, you got nowhere to be and you're just driving. Like that's what you want to like bebop to in the car.
Yes. Obviously, you know, Ed Sheeran has some really great love songs. I love the song For My Hand with Burna Boy and Ed Sheeran. I love that song. It's a great love song. Bryce Vine, he has a song called Drew Barrymore, which I find really cute and, you know, brings me into good vibration. I mean, there are just so many.
Actually, Jack Harlow has some. Yeah. Where he talks about like manifestation and stuff as well. I think Nail Tech does have some concepts in it that are
positive.
Yes. Yeah. And a lot of his music, his newer music, is more positive, I would say.
Do you know, it's funny because while I was going through this, I've noticed how many artists have evolved from talking about more of like partying and, you know, kind of more negative aspects to more positive ones and like realizing what they're putting out. And I think that's really great.
That's something I love about music too, and like albums, is like you watch artists go through different eras. Like right now, Taylor Swift's like eras is a huge thing right now, and now everyone's kind of talking about eras. But like for her, you can look back and like watch her go through these different phases of her life. Like she has gone through heartbreak, she has gone through all the things, and you get to like watch that, and you can experience that with her and grow with her, which I think is super like special and magical. And I also like the nostalgic bit of music as well. Like listening to things that you did when you were younger, maybe not to necessarily affirm those things, but to it's kind of heartwarming to like listen to. It
brings you back to that time and place, which is really magical too. I know I've been told before that scents and music both have that ability to bring up certain memories. Sometimes you think of a certain person, sometimes you think of a certain time in your life, but they have that ability to lock in the memories with the music, and I think that's so cool, and I love that. And I do feel the same way. Like there'll be some songs that maybe aren't the most positive, but I still like them because they remind me of like a good memory or, you know, something like that.
And going off of like scents and sounds, a lot of times for weddings, people have like their wedding song and their wedding perfume. And then they wear that or listen to that when they want to remember that day or night or
that moment.
whatever.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. But I can kind of go off of some more songs. Like, obviously, Don't Worry, Be Happy is such a good one.
I put that on here too. That one has saved my life. I'm convinced that Don't Worry, Be Happy is the key to life.
Yes.
I really think so.
And then there's Vienna, which is by, I forget his name off the top of my head, but it's like classic. Paris by Taylor Swift is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I think when you're listening to it, you may not, this is the thing too. If you're not ready to hear something a certain way, you won't.
Yes.
So you may not get what I get out of this song.
Yes.
You know, but Paris, I think, is actually a really amazing manifestation and high vibrational song. I love Harry Styles has some. He has a song called Treat People with Kindness. Like, hello. Golden is really good. Ariana Grande has so many good ones.
Yeah, she does.
She is like just like magic.
Yep.
Seven Rings is super good. Successful. Like, it feels so good to be so young and have fun and be so successful. Like, yes, like that's what I'm reaffirming. Yes.
Yes.
I love it. It's so good.
I just found this song the other day. It's called Grateful. It's by Call Me Stevie Ray and Connor Price. I don't know them too well, but I will just intentionally look up like
Connor
positive.
Price, I think, is similar to Nick D.
Yes, I think so too. There's another one, Mellow Will. I found him on TikTok, and he intentionally just makes songs that are affirmations for like money. So
Grace Ziegler, is that her name?
Yes, I love her. Affirmations by Gray Ziegler. Is that Ziegler? I don't know. Zeigler. She is wonderful, and she's so pretty, and I just love her. Be Young. I really like him. There's a song called Wine that's like a really cute kind of love song. You know, there's just so many different ones. There's one called Oliver Twist by RD. He's a British rapper, and he talks about like, I read The Secret, I know the meaning. And I'm like, yeah, I love that. Serotonin by Nick D. I mean, you could go on forever, really. Heaven by Kane Brown. If you're looking for a love song to really, you know, manifest love, that one's so good. Senorita by Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. But yeah, Sunday Best by Surfaces. Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles is so happy.
Yes, that's another like summer song. Like, how can you not be happy when you're listening to
Come
it? On. Speaking of Harry Styles and, you know, people like Taylor Swift and people who have such a high following of people, going to concerts and seeing them in person, to me, is one of the most therapeutic and healing things you could ever do. You are like, I get chills thinking about it. And I've been like a concert girly since I was 11 or 12. I can't stop. But you're surrounded by individuals who have so much love for the person that you're seeing and so much excitement. So first of all, it's like very charged with like love and excitement and joy. And then you're all screaming this music together, and like the power in that is unbelievable. And so seeing one of your favorite artists live is just truly the best thing ever. And the power that carries to me is...
I completely agree that it honestly can be a bit life-changing sometimes. Like, it's one of the most frequency raising experiences. When
you leave, like, I have seen Harry in concert. I've seen all the One Direction boys, and like, I've seen a lot of really big people in concert, and people, when you love them and you're screaming these songs, when you leave, you do feel like you're transcended into a different dimension. I swear. And, Dean from Supernatural, I forget his real name. There was a video of him going around. He went to a Harry Styles concert with his daughter, and he's like, I wasn't like really, you know, a Harry Styles fan until I went to his concert. And seeing like the joy that he spreads and the vibration that he carries and the way he makes the people feel that are there has made him like a diehard fan or something. Like, there's a video going around about that, but it's true. Like, it's all about the intentions and like what you're putting out there. So that could be the same for artists who are not necessarily positive or spreading good messages. Like there's been some really negative stuff in the news, which I don't normally watch, but sometimes I see stuff. But like of artists who like people actually get hurt or worse at concerts, and there's really negative vibes, which I've actually experienced myself. Just being mindful of like what you're taking in, and like if you are going to a concert, like make sure it's like someone that is resonant with what you want to like take in, because it's like listening to your favorite song or listening to a song, but like times a million. So whatever that energy is, like you're going to be infused with that heavily.
I love everything you just said. So I really like Kevin Gates, and Kevin Gates is kind of ghetto, and some of his older music is really not so great. But I have loved witnessing the evolution of him, because he has come from a really dark background, and the level of transmutation that it takes to become what he is now is magical. Mm-hmm. And so I went to his concert not too long ago. It was here in Duluth as well. And he actually spoke about his words being medicine while he was on stage. And he is very spiritual. And so he was like preaching a little bit about spirituality. And he also did something else that I thought was really interesting and I never experienced before at a concert. Now, a lot of people complained about this, but I noticed that the people who are complaining, I know personally, are low vibrational people. I had a completely different experience at this concert. So before I went, I was actually really sick. Like I had a terrible cold. My throat was really sore and I was kind of nervous. I almost canceled. I almost was like, I don't think I can make it. But I was like, I love him so much. Like, I'm going to go. And by the time I got done with this concert, I felt really good. My throat wasn't sore. I was screaming my lungs out the whole time. I know all the words. Okay.
Yes.
I was dancing the whole time. Like I had a great time. And when I left, I felt amazing. I wasn't tired. My throat didn't hurt. Nothing. Like it was like I had literally been healed by the music. So what he did, you know, not only has his music evolved a lot and now it's really spiritual and very positive, many of the songs anyway. There are some things that are questionable, you know, but whatever. But he sang the first like 30 seconds of probably like 10 to 20 of his most popular songs. And I found that when he started the most popular songs, people would get so excited. The energy would raise in the room and we're like, oh my God, it's my favorite song, you know? And then he would stop and go to the next one and go to the next one. And I think what that did was it harnessed the highest vibration energy from the crowd over and over again, which was an energetically magical experience. I don't know how else to explain it. It was really like I could feel my body raising its frequency during that experience. It was really wonderful. And I love that he is intentionally doing that and he's talking to people about it. And I'm sure there are lots of people who, you know, listen to his old music and resonate with that and maybe don't understand what he's talking about. You know, when you're not ready to hear it, you don't hear it. But for me, I heard it and I was very present with it the whole time. And I love that he's so intentional about doing that. And now, like, a lot of his music, like, he came out with a song Big Life and he talks about like chasing bad energy away, and like there are just so many songs that he has now that are so positive and they're about like self-love and about attracting abundance and, you know, about trusting in God and things that I think are really helpful. So if you do listen to ghetto rap music,
that's a good one.
Kevin Gates. He's a good one because you get both from that, you know?
Yeah. And to think about like frequencies when they're together, they can't coexist. They have to one takes on the other. That's why crystals are so effective, because and why they have healing properties, because the energy that it exudes, it can't coexist with something else. They naturally harmonize with each other. So if you think about that with music, being at a concert, the power that everyone kind of harmonizes together to create whatever the energy is. But also how that can impact others. If you're listening to something and that raises your vibration, like you're going to have that effect on the people around you as well.
Yeah.
Like something so simple as like changing what you're listening to will change your vibration and then will have that ripple effect of those around you.
Yes, definitely. I think you can witness that in crowds as well. Like sometimes you'll see somebody who's like not really known and the crowd might be, you know, sparse and but then when people start getting excited, then more and more people will join and then other people around them get excited and then all of a sudden it's crowded.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just think that that can carry in your everyday life as well. Like what you're consuming is what you are creating as your vibration and what you're emitting as your vibration. So it's just a big cycle.
Yeah. So the point is music is magical. It really is. And I don't think that I've ever met a human who would disagree with that. Like I've never met anyone who hasn't thought the same about music. You know, it is really powerful.
Just going back to like sound healing a little bit too, like there are frequencies that can heal your body and that can help you feel better, that can improve your mood or that can relax you or whatever. There's also, it can be the opposite effect as well. So if you're listening to negative things and frequencies, your body will become in disharmony and disease and things like that can actually be a response to that. So there's always the opposite, the polar opposite. So music can be used to heal, but it can also be used to create disharmony. So just being mindful of that as well when you're based off of what you're consuming and stuff.
Yeah. I'm laughing because there's been a few songs that, you know, I have liked because they're a catchy tune. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, these lyrics are horrible. There's one that comes to mind. I think it's called Lean With Me. And he says, lean with me, rock with me, something about like fucked up liver and some bad kidneys. Like what? You do not want to affirm that. Like what on earth? No. Or like there's a song that is actually really popular that's called Murder. It's by like YW Melly or something like that. And it's a really catchy song, but like, I do not want to be affirming that. Like, so yeah, since I've become more aware of what I'm consuming, I'm like, I'm deleting half of the playlists I have. Like, this is not the vibe.
Yes. So listen to all the high vibe stuff.
Yes. Yeah. We have to combat it somehow. Well, on that note, shall we pull a card?
Oh, hi. Just a little mermaid girly. So we are pulling from the Moon Witch deck, one of our favorites. I guess one thing that I could add is like, you can also think about like what you're doing when you are listening to, or like say you're like meditating, you can listen to certain music to like promote your meditation and to get into a deeper state. When you're getting ready in the morning, you can get something like really high vibe. If you're getting ready for bed, you can do something that's like more calming. So just like incorporating music more into your life and like thinking about what you're listening to and when.
Yes. I would like to say too that I've used this many times. If you're feeling ill, like whether it be a cold or a flu or pain, look up on YouTube frequencies for whatever it is that you're experiencing, because it has saved me. Like sometimes being nauseous is like the worst feeling in the entire world, and 10 minutes of listening to a YouTube frequency has completely helped me, or at least relaxed me enough where I can like fall asleep in some of my worst moments. So don't underestimate the power of sound healing. It really, really helps.
So the card that we pulled is the Two of Wands, associated with water.
Fire, diamonds, summer.
This is what the card looks like. She has really pretty like aqua hair. Looks like she's looking over a desert and some water as well. And she looks like she's in a really cool
that looks super cool
place. So the Two of Wands, the overall themes are potential, decisions, planning, taking the first step, choices, new opportunities, and determination. So the Two of Wands shows a young witch looking over the ocean, planning her new adventure. She is still in the castle and has not stepped foot on her ship. She has two wands, one for creativity and one for action. Together, they form a perfect balance. Two of Wands is also a card of duality: fear and excitement, action and lethargy. All of these feelings are normal when you're about to embark on a journey. Two of Wands also represents a moment in your life you have made a decision and started taking the first steps towards your goals, but are still unable to see the fruits of your hard work. This is your reminder not to give up. Great things take time. I'll read the reversed just as the polar opposite, the duality version of the card. Two of Wands reversed usually points to the tendency to endlessly plan, waiting for the right moment, but actually never taking the first step. Reversed, Two of Wands serves as a reminder that there's no right moment. You'll never be 100% ready. We are constantly evolving and changing. That 100% readiness simply does not exist in nature. If you know what your goals are, you have to start taking action one step at a time. Before you know it, your seeds will bloom into reality, which I love that it says your seeds will bloom into reality, because we have moved from spring to summer, and summer does represent the blossoming of your seeds or your potential or your intentions.
Yes, I love that. So I got a really similar message today, and I'm laughing because, like, I'm not gonna lie, I have control issues, okay? and so I want to plan everything out, whether it be like work or relationships or whatever. Like, I want to be sure, like, if I want to go on a date, like, I want to know what time and what place we're going. Like, I want to be sure. If we're planning something for work, I want to know, like, okay, what day are we going to finish this? And like, you know, like, I'm very like, but the card that I pulled today was about spontaneity and trust, and just, you know, staying present and allowing it to unfold divinely as it's meant to.
Yes.
And when you let go of that control, that's when it does.
Yes, yeah. That's so true. And right now, this is a time where the energy is getting higher. We're getting close to the peak. It's almost the summer solstice, so we're almost at like peak energy. And you know, when you plant your seeds in the spring, you are working hard to bring your intentions to life, but they haven't come to life yet. So it does feel maybe a little bit unrewarding, or you're feeling like a little bit like you almost want to give up, or like, is it worth it?
Like
but
stuck.
Yes, if you like persevere through that, or if you continue your hard work, you don't allow yourself to just give up and throw the towel in, like you will be rewarded. Things will blossom. You will see the flowers. You'll see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, it will happen. You just have to
keep the faith.
Yes.
Keep the faith. Always choose faith over fear. It will create that for you.
And action. This is peak time to be taking action.
Yep. Consistency, persistence, and faith.
Yes.
Yes.
That's too good.
Love that. Well, thanks again for joining us. Thank you for helping raise the frequency. Thank you for being intentional, high vibrational beings. We flip and love you.
We really, really do. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.